The brutal rape and murder of the trainee doctor at the RG Kar Medical College and the sexual assault cases of the two kindergarten girls in Badlapur are just the latest of several high-profile recent incidents of gender-based violence in India. They come at a time when sexual violence appears to be on the rise. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, there was a 20% increase in reported rapes in 2022 compared to 2021. Undoubtedly, the Indian government has implemented stricter laws against sexual and gender-based violence, as well as some national strategies to address this issue. This following the international outcry over the Nirbhaya gang rape case in 2012. But as the current tragedies and other high-profile cases suggest, those laws have not ended India's systemic problems with gender-based violence. And perhaps that's why many of the protesters, including the doctors across India and the parents in Badlapur, are saying enough is enough. Because women of India are asking for safety, not protection. That means a secure environment, whether it is at schools, parks, colleges, workplace, or even within the confinements of their own homes. That too, without the worry of being molested, acid attacked, raped, or even murdered. In fact, India's constitution grants women with equal rights as men, only so as to enable them to take part effectively in the administration of the country. But who ensures that equality for women? The government, or also we, the people of India? And so on the horrific Kolkata rape and murder story, we continue to probe into questions that remain unanswered even today. Can the Trinamool Congress sidestep lapses on its watch? That's a big question we'll be probing tonight on Brass Tacks.
Rally which the doctors have started, and you can see that a lot of doctors, entire doctor fraternity has come here.
Clear sentiments among the RG Kar community is arrest Sandeep Ghosh, only then we will get a sense of justice.
बेआईनी काम जैसे बॉडी का लेके, जैसे डेड बॉडी का लेके तस्करी करना, जैसे बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट का मैंने बताया था, इसको भी मैंने एक्सपोज किया था। ये दो कंप्लेन काफ़ी ऊंचा लेवल में गया था, लेकिन ये बहुत मैं बोल रहा हूँ इट्स रियली अनफॉर्चुनेट कि कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ। अगर ठीक वक्त पे काम होता तो ये अभी जेल में होते।
I have lodged complaint against ex-principal Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. I have been transferred, I was targeted, I have been harassed in so many ways.
So much scams are there and everyone knows it.
Joined in by Raveena Tandon, who, as we all know, is a Padma Shri awardee and a very renowned actor. Many thanks to you, Raveena, for joining in on CNN News 18. Now, let me begin with what the Supreme Court had questioned as it took up the suo motu cognizance of the Kolkata rape and murder case yesterday. It's asked, ultimately, what is equality under the Constitution if women cannot be safe in their workplace? As a woman who has had her share of own struggle in the film industry, I'd like your thoughts.
Honestly, I think for me, the amount that we talk about feminism, etc., it all means to me equality in every kind of sector. And today, if you see, our women are forced to reckon with at every workplace. We've broken male bastions in India, and India has been a supportive country. We cannot constantly run our country down, because sometimes I actually tweet that I'm so lucky I'm born in a country like India, that I have the freedom to wear what I want, walk where I want, and work in any place that I choose to. My career is my choice. The way I live, dress, eat, drink is completely my choice. But unfortunately, as you can see, the kind of as a woman's perspective, and more so as a mom's perspective. I'm a mom today of 3 young women, and for me, it is a worry. It is a concern. I'm awake at night till my children are back safe home from their friends' homes or from their workplaces, because of the kind of fear that has been now slowly and steadily increasing. The insecurity is increasing for our women in the workplaces. How are we so proud of the fact that some of our women drivers are women are taxi drivers, they're auto rickshaw drivers, they are truck drivers, they are engine railway drivers, they are pilots today. So it's something that they have orders, they could be working anywhere. So what kind of security are we
Correct.
all women expected to, right, just do jobs where we are sitting at home, or just be bound by that? So that is something that is an issue that I've been talking about since many, many years. It's not now. In fact, in 2017, I made a movie called Matra, dealing with this issue, dealing about a gang rape that happens on a highway of a mother and daughter, and the consequences that the victims have to face. There's victim shaming, there is jokes, and the culprits, the perpetrators have no fear of the law, because they know they'll be out on bail. And there are instances where they've gone back and threatened the families and the victims again.
I'm
you
glad
will
that you
not believe-
mentioned Matra, because it also talks about gender violence across generations, something that you just mentioned, which is why it's also something that's not just limited to workplace. Look at schools. It's day 13 since the ghastly crime at
Exactly.
RG Kar Medical College took place. The protests are happening in the entire nation. At the same time, there's growing anger in the Badlapur sexual assault case. Why has sexual violence become a systemic problem in India?
Akanksha, you will not believe, after we finished filming Matra, which was a very disturbing experience for me, I was crying throughout dubbing the film, because I could feel the horror as a mom as to what the mothers and what the families have gone through, and what the families are going through right now of these 2 little children in Badlapur, and of course, the doctor's rape in Kolkata. We came back to Mumbai, and a month and a half later, exactly what we shot, a mother and daughter were raped in front of their family on a highway in Delhi. It was so uncanny, and we all had goosebumps. And the next day when the headlines hit, all of us from the unit were calling each other and saying, oh my God, this is just completely horrendous. And we made a movie about it a month and a half ago, before it happened. So it is something that is, we've been beating our chests probably to try and get the authorities to wake up to the fact that we need fast tracking. Forget that, Akanksha. The situation changing is because there is no fear. Today they can get away with it. We have to get awareness and fear somewhere in the kind of upbringing that men do, that you need to respect women. If a girl is told to be careful, that don't walk at this time and don't wear this and don't do that, what about the men? Why aren't they taught that every girl is someone that you cannot play around her life with? You have to learn to protect.
What's your assessment of the Bengal government's new program, which is called Night Helpers? It will limit the working hours of women doctors to a maximum of 12 hours. It will also avoid assigning them night duty as much as possible. Is this not paternalizing, that too in a state which is governed by the only woman chief minister in the country? Is that the solution? Limit women from stepping out?
Personally, in my opinion, I think that is a little regressive, a step which I would not corroborate or would want anyone to go through that, because that kind of limits women from working and from people hiring women and including more women in their workplace, because it puts limitations on the kind of work hours that we can put in. And believe me, women, I feel, are harder, work harder than their male colleagues any day. Undoubtedly, not taking away the credit from the men, but women can multitask. And unfortunately, this is again limiting the scope of what all they can do.
Ravina, I'm running short of time. Following the Nirbhaya case in 2012, the Indian government, of course, implemented stricter laws against sexual and gender-based violence, as well as some national strategies. But as the current tragedy in Kolkata and Badlapur suggests, and several other high-profile cases, those laws have not ended India's systemic problems with gender-based violence. Why so, in your view?
In my view, there is sometimes there is political appeasement, sometimes there is some kind of pressure, there is bureaucracy, there is a lot of red tape, there's a lot of influence at certain places used to probably save people, get people out, bail, etc. I think there has to be an awareness and strict action taken, even with us, our security forces, when a woman victim goes to file an FIR or what. Sometimes she's made fun of, sometimes she's sent back home. The thing is that even these people who are supposed to protect us need to be questioned as to why not. And there has to be a kind of sensitization all across our police stations as well. The need of the hour is what I'm loving, is the way students are standing up in Kolkata. The doctors, the male colleagues, along with their female colleagues, are actually protesting and actually wanting some action to take
I am glad you called
place.
out on the role that the youth is playing, which is why the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is often projected as the messiah of the youth, he deflected from the questions on the Kolkata rape case and murder. Do you think it is time that the politicians and lawmakers of this country unite and take a stand against systemic violence against women?
Absolutely, because something like this cannot be politicized. Something like this is in nearly every state. So let's wake up, smell the coffee, and if you need to walk the talk. If you say we need to protect our daughters, then get serious about it.
All right. Many thanks to you, Ravina Tandon. It was a pleasure speaking to you. And thank you for giving us your precious time here at CNN News 18. All right. So walk the talk. That's the message from the Padma Shri awardee, Ravina Tandon. And that brings me back to the question that we are posing. Can TMC sidestep the lapses under its watch? And with that, let me introduce our esteemed panelists today. I'm joined in by Dr. Soumitra Rawat, who is a Padma Shri awardee himself, also member of the National Task Force constituted by the Supreme Court. Ms. Charu Pragya, who is a spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Shabnam Dey, who is a political analyst, also backing the Trinamool Congress, and Saira Shah Ali, who is a leader of CPIM and also an author. Many thanks to you, ladies, and of course, Mr. Rawat. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining in. Dr. Rawat, the task force, like you, comprises of esteemed members from the medical fraternity and, of course, many from the government of India as well. Having said that, what will it be that you will be probing or looking into as you formulate those guidelines to ensure better safety and working conditions for doctors all across the country?
Thank you very much, Akansha, for inviting me. It is a very emotional and testing time for all the doctors who are working in this country. And Akansha, I have worked in England for more than 17 years, and I did all my advanced training. I was a consultant surgeon, surgical tutor of Royal College, so very closely involved with teaching and training and providing a safe atmosphere to all the junior doctors and the colleague. So I think the two things which Supreme Court, Honorable Chief Justice of India, which has given us a guideline that the two things which we need to do is prevent violence against medical professional. That is number one. And second thing is national protocol for dignified and safe working conditions for doctors, junior doctors, nurses, and allied medical professionals. So these are the two things where we are going to have a look at the existing laws. We will also give a recommendation so that our doctors are safe, our colleagues are safe, our future generation is safe. I haven't, Akansha, seen anything this gruesome in my more than 30 years of medical profession.
All right. Dr. Rawat, also based on these very crucial recommendations by the task force, should we now expect the government to bring in an ordinance that honors these recommendations? Because, you know, we've talked enough about strict laws which already exist ever since the 2012 gruesome gang rape of Nirbhaya. But where is it that we are lacking? Not to forget, how crucial is this ordinance going to be? And in the meantime, while that ordinance is brought in, what can be done to provide greater security to the doctors?
I think if you have a look at the Supreme Court judgment which has been given, I think Justice, our Chief Justice, Justice Chandrachud, have given us a task, and you know, he has already elaborated quite minutely and detail that what should we be looking for. You know, it's prevent gender-based violence, national plan to provide dignified working for the doctors, whether the emergency room is protected, you know, how to secure and manage the crowd, restroom, you know, proper lighting, and, you know, quarterly audit of institutional safety measure. And I think I'm pretty sure, because there are a lot of top bureaucrats, you know, in the committee,
Yes.
including the cabinet secretary,
Secretaries.
home secretary, health secretary. I think we all need to combine and join together so that, you know, we are safe, especially at a place where, you know, doctors are working in a tough atmosphere, working 36 hours a day. At least we don't fear about, you know, safety and security.
Absolutely. I totally honor and agree with everything that you have said. I do hope that, you know, there's a more well thought out sort of plan that's put in place with the recommendations of the task force that's also honored by the government, by the way. Shabnam Dey, I would like to draw your attention to what has come up today. Some startling revelations have been thrown up by the former Deputy Superintendent at the RG Kar Medical College, where he's claimed that there was commission taken by Sandeep Ghosh. He was taking bribe. If students failed to do so, they would be failed in examination. You know, there was an illegal trade happening as far as Bangladesh is also concerned. I'd like your thoughts.
Good evening, Akanksha. Thanks for inviting me to reiterate the opinion which you have formed in front of the panel today. Dr. Ali is the ex-superintendent of this hospital, RG Kar. He should have come out with clean hands at the time when he could. Today, when he approached the Honorable High Court at Calcutta to implead him as a party or to file a separate case in these cause of action, he could have done it earlier with suo motu also, by revealing whatever the discrepancies are going on in RG Kar Hospital regarding the education.
Shabnam, do you realize why he had to go to the court? You know, because he had already approached the Vigilance Department, he had already gone to the Anti-Corruption Bureau, and no action had been taken by the government in Bengal, which is why. And that's why I'm going to request my team to in fact play out what Mr. Ali has had to say in that exclusive interview to CNN News 18. Let's have all those claims that he's made on record before you go on to question why he had to approach the court. Let's have that.
पहला जो सबसे पहले मैंने पकड़ा था वो स्टूडेंट लोग को फेल करवाते थे, फेल करा करके उनसे पैसे अच्छे खासे रकम वसूलते थे, और जो उनके बात नहीं सुनते थे, कुछ उसमें स्टूडेंट थे जो ये पैसा को कलेक्ट करते थे, फिर उन्हीं जूनियर स्टूडेंट को वो शराब पिलाते थे, उनको पैसे का लालच लत लगाते थे, और उनसे आंदोलन भी करवाते थे, क्योंकि आपने देखा होगा कि ये आंदोलन भी काफ़ी होता था वहाँ। अगर जब उनका ट्रांसफ़र हुआ तो ये स्टूडेंट लोग को देख के उन्होंने आंदोलन करा दिया, फिर दोबारा वो प्रिंसिपल के पोस्ट पे आ गए। इसके अलावा बहुत सारा बेआईनी काम, जैसे बॉडी का लेके, जैसे डेड बॉडी का लेके तस्करी करना, जैसे बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट का मैंने बताया था, इसको भी मैंने एक्सपोज किया था। ये 2 कंप्लेन काफ़ी ऊंचा लेवल में गया था, लेकिन ये बहुत मतलब मैं बोल रहा हूँ इट्स रियली अनफॉर्चुनेट कि कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि मैंने एकदम एक्सपोज किया था विद वीडियो। और जितने टेंडर होते थे, टेंडर में 20% वो ओपन कमीशन खाते थे, और उनके 2 खास लोग थे, घुमा फिरा के वही सप्लाई करते थे। उनकी 12 कंपनियां थी, एक टॉवल से लेकर के, एक टूथब्रश से लेकर के, एक इक्विपमेंट से लेकर के, एक कागज़ लेके, एक सर्टिफिकेट प्रिंटिंग, आप जो भी कुछ बोलिए इनके थ्रू होता था।
ये थोड़ा बताइए, ये बॉडी पार्ट्स का जो आप बता रहे हैं, ये नेक्सस कैसे काम करता था, और ये बांग्लादेश का एंगल क्या है इसमें?
नहीं, ये बांग्लादेश का एंगल बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट में, इसमें क्या था, 2 तरह के बॉडी होते हैं, एक क्लेम जिनके वारिश होते हैं और एक लावारिश होते हैं। लावारिश को क्या करते थे, ये कुछ प्राइवेट मेडिकल कॉलेजेस वगैरह में चैनलाइज करके भेज देते थे, और ये 5 बॉडी को, फ्रेश बॉडी वो मांगा था वर्कशॉप के लिए, तो 5 बॉडी को इन्होंने वर्कशॉप के लिए, ENT वर्कशॉप के लिए दे दिया था, बगैर किसी से पूछे। वो वारिस लाज थे, उनके पार्टी को भी इन्फॉर्म नहीं किया, उनका कंसेंट भी नहीं मिला, और जो डिपार्टमेंट में इनका PM होना था, फॉरेंसिक मेडिसिन के HOD को भी इन्होंने इन्फॉर्म नहीं किया।
संजय रॉय को कभी आपने हॉस्पिटल में आते जाते देखा है, या संदीप घोष?
मैंने जब उसका वीडियो देखा और जब मैंने टीवी में देखा, तो मेरे जहन में आ गया, मुझे याद आया कि इसको मैंने संदीप घोष के साथ ही देखा था।
देखा था आपने?
हाँ, संदीप घोष।
कहाँ देखा था?
उसके वो बाउंसर रखते थे अपनी सिक्योरिटी के लिए, तो 4 बाउंसर में से ये
आपने SIT के सामने ये बात बताई है?
मैंने SIT के सामने बताई, लेकिन SIT जो मुझसे पूछे मैंने सब बताया, और अभी फिर वो बोले हैं बुलाएंगे।
All right, Shabnam Dey, I give you 30 seconds to counter everything that Akhtar Ali has said, because I have other 2 panelists who are very patiently awaiting their turns.
At this material point of time, why Dr. Akhtar Ali had to come and approach to the court? Why not before to the court? Because he made representation to anti-corruption, and that complaint.
Because everything that he's saying right now brings in the dock not just Sandeep Ghosh, it also brings in the dock the TMC government, which paid no heed to all to the work that he did as a whistleblower.
That's why the Akanksha appreciate. That's why the High Court is open for any commoners to go and to file a case.
Now a little too late for that. A little too late. A little too late for that. Charu, let me bring you in. I think Sandeep Ghosh asked for security, Charu. I think the next person who deserves security, rightly so, is going to be Akhtar Ali.
Good evening, and it's unfortunate, Akansha, that even after 13 days after this horrific gang rape and murder, TMC spokespersons and supporters are speaking like this on national television. It shames me as a citizen, it shames me as a woman. The discrepancies and the ongoings that were pushed under the carpet at RGK National College went on for a very long time. But here I am more focused on what happened to the young doctor we lost. And I have some questions, and I hope the TMC leader will be able to provide me with at least a few answers. Do not wash your hands of this case. Do not say that your government is working to support the victim, because your government time and time again has proved itself to be one which sides with the accused and not with the victim. You look at Nadia, a 14-year-old child was accused. Mamata Banerjee herself said that I don't know what was going on. Maybe she had a lover, maybe she was pregnant. This child was murdered after rape and thrown away. This is the Chief Minister's response. We saw a similar kind of a response in Sandesh Khali. Most recently in RGK, the girl was blamed. It was victim shaming all over again. People were asking, why did she go there in the first place? Excuse me, in this time and century, are you going to tell a young accomplished doctor not to be at her workplace and to feel unsafe even at her workplace? Now for my pointed questions. Your principal called this an unnatural death. He couldn't see that there were 16 marks on her body externally, 9 internal marks. she was strangulated, she was suffocated, her collarbone was broken. You couldn't see with your blind open eyes also, you could see that it was murder. Why did you call it an unnatural death? And why was it not reported to the police? Why did the FIR have to wait till the doctor's parents arrived? Why was her body not handed over to her parents? That basic dignity you could not give to her even in her death. She was quickly cremated. What kind of evidence were you trying to erase? Instead of cordoning off and sealing the crime scene, you allowed renovation to go on there. Renovation. How atrocious is that? And every single person who wanted to protest against this, ask questions, was silenced. Whether it was the protesters, to whom your own minister Guha said that if you raise fingers at my government, I will chop off your hands, or your own party officials. Shantanu Sen, who was a spokesperson, when he asked questions, he was kicked out of his job. Sukhendu Sekhar Roy, when he said the police was up to some misdoing, he had to go to the High Court. It just doesn't add up. And you're still here defending everything.
Shabnam, I'm going to give you time for a rebuttal, but I want to bring in quickly Saira as well. Saira, you heard everything that Charu had to say. Apart from the victim shaming, the whistleblowers within the TMC have been summoned by the Kolkata police. That, of course, we all know is Sukhendu Sekhar Roy as well. And this kind of approach, this kind of draconian approach to anybody who dares to raise their voice, not just that, also blame the opposition if there's any unrest on the streets, if there was a mob attack on those peacefully protesting doctors, blame the BJP, blame the CPIM. What does it speak of the Mamata Banerjee government? Have they lost credibility?
See, all I would say is that the Trinamool Congress has been making concerted efforts to cover their footprints in all the wrongdoings that has been happening all these years. I mean, you look at, Mr. Sandeep Ghosh, who's been interrogated rigorously by the CBI in connection with the rape and murder. Last year itself, he was accused of corruption and trafficking of bodies and biomedical waste. Let me iterate once again. And all the allegations that are being made by Mr. Akhtar Ali need to be investigated with utmost seriousness, because he was the deputy medical superintendent at RG Kar, which is, in the spur of the storm. And now we look at it that he had made complaints previously to the Vigilance Commission and also the Anti-Corruption Bureau. He had also tried to simultaneously file a police complaint, but it was on deaf ears. It was refused. Now we want to say, if this medical scam was going on for such a long time, why did the Trinamool Congress, people try and cover up, all the wrongdoings that were happening in RG Kar? Why was, a superintendent who was a very serious post?
Right.
And the fact is, a police case was filed. Complaints are made to the Vigilance Commission, Anti-Corruption Bureau. So why didn't these departments take cognizance of all the wrongdoings that was happening at RG Kar? That itself puts the Trinamool Congress, in the spotlight of suspicion, and rightfully so. Why was he transferred immediately? Why was he given a promotion? He should have been told to sit at home and not been lauded and given a promotion within hours of this very, very, ugly and grisly incident that transpired.
Shabnam, I'd like answers to all of these questions that remain unanswered every day, because clearly the TMC has not really been chivalrous enough to own up to the lapses that have taken place on ground level. Also, I'd really like it if you can enlighten me and the viewers in terms of what has the TMC done to restore that faith which has been butchered.
Not a matter of fact, Akanksha. TMC faith is still in the mass and people of Bengal. It has been politically hijacked.
That's why those students have fled the RG Kar Medical College.
That's not the all students. All students. They are backed by
Kirti Sharma, an 18-year-old child, was arrested because she raised her voice against this.
CPM,
ACCI, an 18-year-old was
and CPM
arrested.
youth.
Shabnam,
CPM backed by the political
those arrests? And then you're bringing up a night program which is only limiting women from stepping out for longer hours, especially at night. And you're saying that, you know, this is our flagship program for women's safety. How? How are you correcting that mindset? As we've been reiterating right from the beginning, women need safety, not protection.
That's why our CM has strictly promulgated the rules that the doctors will be working for 12 hours.
No,
there
I'm
will be
sorry,
total
I disagree,
security.
and I find
See,
it
it has
very
been.
sexist.
No, you will be sorry.
Akansha, no.
Because
Right,
BJP
right.
wants to
Let me, Charu, let her make her point. Charu, she's entitled to make her point. I will give you time to come.
to hijack. BJP wanted to hijack. They don't wanted to investigation to proceed. A judicial committee.
What investigation? When the Kolkata police is the one shielding a Kolkata police civic volunteer. Shabnam, do not make points that actually call for interjection. Right, Charu. All right, Shabnam, please make points that actually make sense. This is bordering on illogical behavior.
In the parliament for central healthcare, which is pending since 2019 till date. Why their government, BJP government, central government?
You know, the TMC saying that Shabnam, I cannot hear you. If you will speak over me, I will not be able to hear you. The point is over here that you're talking about the BJP is politicizing the matter, the left is politicizing the matter, whereas you are just doing exactly that. Charu, please go ahead.
So, Shabnam she seems to be a lawyer. I'm ashamed that she's a lawyer again because the case was given to the CBI by the Kolkata High Court.
Let's
by the Kolkata High Court, not by the BJP. Get your facts straight before you come on national television. It was not BJP who transferred the case, it was Kolkata High Court. And if you don't even know that, I have no words for you. Akansha, I would like to please have my say without this lady speaking over me.
Shabnam, I asked
so first
Charu
of all,
to
she needs to
quiet
understand
and
Kolkata High Court.
Please let her make her point. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Kolkata High Court transferred the case to CBI. BJP had nothing to do with it, and this she needs to understand and stand corrected on. The second important point here is you're telling us that women need to be limited to visiting hours. Why don't you just lock them at home? Why don't you make them wear chastity belts while you're at it? In this day and age, that is how you're talking? Keep them home. You cannot provide security. Yes, a horrific rape has happened. Yes, you couldn't save her. But what is your response after that? What is your response in ensuring at least she gets justice in death? Dilly-dallying like this, what about it? And fake statements on television. You don't even know who transferred the case to CBI.
You know, Saira Shah, we've been talking about how it is the mindset which needs to be rectified. But isn't the mindset also a byproduct of the kind of trickle-down effect we see that's coming out of the administration or the governance within the state itself?
See, all the skeletons are now tumbling out. As we all know that use syringes, medical waste like hand gloves, we know that according to protocol, it must be disposed of as per disinfection norms. However, the allegation is that this Mr. Ghosh, Dr. Ghosh supposedly, used to sell this material to Bangladeshi citizens, and the next was the illegal selling of bodies, and the complaint was also made, and to the National Commission also summoned him, and then nothing transpired out of this summons. So we need to find out if the National Commission is summoning him, why didn't something noteworthy come out of this summons? And also he's been accused of, Mr. Ghosh has been accused of taking bribes of at least 20%, to award work orders or contracts, to fail students. What is happening? This is a medical scam if it's going to be proven. And I hope, it comes to light, because we've seen the education scam. 526,000 people lost their jobs. We have seen so many different scams under the Trinamool Congress regime that now this actually doesn't shock or surprise anybody. Let it come out and let justice be served to, Abhaya and her parents, grieving parents, and the entire medical fraternity. We are standing by you.
Right.
We are standing by you in this dark
Charu,
hour, and you
Mr.
see the
Suvendu
justice is
Adhikari
meted
has
out.
made a very interesting point today. He's blamed the complete collapse of law and order in Bengal on the kind of illegal appointments that are happening, especially when it comes to positions of the Home Secretary, the DGP, even the Additional Chief Secretary. Why is he saying that they are illegal?
Illegal or compromised appointments are the reason that administration in West Bengal has completely collapsed. We saw the person who was arrested in this particular case also was a member of the civil police. He lived inside the 4th Battalion. It was an appointment which was done out of the way. The police commissioner literally washed his hands off the entire thing. The ACP said it's a case of suicide without bothering to investigate, without even opening his eyes and taking a look at the body of the deceased. He declared it a suicide. Tell me, if this is not a collapse of administration and law and order, what is? And how can people making statements such as this are not compromised?
All right, I'm going to quickly end with thoughts of Dr. Rawat. Dr. Rawat, is it not high time for India to stop commuting death sentences into life imprisonment, as we've seen in the case of serial rapist and killer Umesh Reddy?
I think, Akansha, we need to, give justice which is strong and timely. I think that's the most important thing, because if case carries on for say 10 years, it doesn't show justice. So I think we need to have a justice with the teeth, timely bound, so that we can prevent violence against any citizen. But in this case, preventing violence against medical professional and giving a dignified and safe working condition for the doctors and medical profession. I just sincerely hope that all the political parties will come together for this cause, so that the law passes fast and we have a stringent laws for violence against anybody in the country, especially the medical professional.
Right, especially the medical professionals as well, the women, all of them in the entire nation. Many thanks to you, Dr. Rawat, and the ladies for joining in. I'm going to request Charu to continue to stay with us, because remember,